Ladies and gentlemen, whoa, should have cleared my throat before I started. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing well, feeling good, maybe feeling warm, a lot warmer than I am right now. I'm cold, no jacket though. As today we listen to Steve Martland. We're going to listen to this track, Horses of Instruction. I guess technically it might be under Steve Martland Band. And from what I could tell, this was released in 2001. I believe. We're listening to this because it was suggested and sponsored by Alan. So Alan, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the suggestion as well. You said that Steve Martland was a British composer exploring the same territory as Graham Fitkin in the 90s, which we've listened recently to a Graham Fitkin track. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a really cool piece of music. I have that added onto my personal list of music in that regard. So really enjoyed that. You said that he's rather more spiky and dance music based. Curious. Let us go ahead and dive on in to this piece. I'm going to use YouTube and full screen this. You guys can join along with me. Just like that. Here we go. I got the spikiness. Let's get more jazzy spike. Sharp horns, sure. I need to count this out. That's a cool little tight drum fill. That is kind of cool. I think that this has a certain cool factor to it, absolutely. Ooh, great drum. Follow the hi-hats, if anything. This is the definition of controlled chaos. Almost catching up. Why not? Is like the most subtle of the section so far. I can follow this one at least. Very deconstructed, big band kind of sound. Extremely dismal. Clockwork. And the rhythm is in 4/4, I think. It's just every instrument coming in at different parts around that. Oh, that's, never mind. Never mind. fill in those spaces. Great fills. Let's rewind the watch. Okay. When was that? I want to talk about that moment. They gave you a little bit. You know, out there somewhere, there's someone that works out to this track. There's someone out there that works out to this piece of music, and you are sweating bullets. You know, kind of like the album cover. I don't know why I'm joking. Excuse me, I had to mute the microphone. The album cover is a perfect representation. Different colors, different tones, different hues, all coming together, intersecting with one another, changing the interaction between one another as they collide and as they intersect. But in the end, forming out the flag of Martland. Man, it's a challenging piece of music. Absolutely no doubt about that. Can I say that I think that this is a musician's piece of music? I feel like if you're a musician, I think you come away with a lot more from this. Like me listening, I'll give you my opinion. We'll talk about it. Sure. Yeah, we'll get into it. But I feel like if you're a musician, especially, and more so, you're going to get so much more out of this and so much more appreciation out of this because of the sheer, at least, the sheer brilliance of the technical abilities of the musicians at play here. I'm going to pull up to see if I can pull up the personnel here to see exactly who's playing, who's doing what. Because when it comes to Steve Martland, even though I know that he's the composer, I don't know exactly what he's playing, if, of course, he's playing anything, or if he just created the piece and is allowing the band to play it. I am on Discogs right now, looking at the album, Steve Martland Band. So he is strictly the composer, and the conductor. Everything else is played by other musicians here and other people. I can put you guys up here. Where'd you go? I can put you guys up here so you can see right here all the different musicians who are playing alongside and being, of course, conducted by Martland. And I mean, the sheer brilliance of the instruments is astonishing. The way that they play is astonishing. Can I just say, especially the drums? I guess it's going to be Simon Pearson, tracks 1 to 8. So yeah, pretty much the whole album. Simon Pearson, what a brilliant drummer. Who has he played with? Do we know anyone that he's played with? Steve Martland, Goya Dress, Erilyn Wallen, Astrid. I don't know or recognize any of these, but his drumming is incredible. And the way that he plays in such a complicated piece, while at certain moments inserting a very cool groove or really tight knit fills in there, is incredible. Is genuinely brilliant. I'm focusing on the drums, but this could, of course, be very much extended to every single member who's playing everything here. You have some marimba by Colin Currie, and I think that's really cool how that comes in and pops through. And the track goes through a lot of different sections and cycles, varying in intensity and varying in the power behind it all. Out of the different sections, I'm going to pull the track back up here. Out of the different sections, my favorite is the ending. And I don't mean that in like a rude way. I mean that like literally it was like around 12 minutes or so. When that piano came in and just started just jamming down on the chords, and then the heaviness that it led into. I think that was the best track or best part of this track, as well as a brilliant finish to the track. It was around here. I think I went too far. Hold on. I went too far. There. Oh. Just straight up jamming on top of that. And I think that's my favorite, partly because it is still, for lack of a better word, mathematically challenging to listen to. It is still extremely complex and complicated, but for lack of a better word, the jump off with that beat, the jump off with that drum, and the way it comes into it is just impressive. It's powerful. It makes you want to just hop up and down. You could easily insert this into like a math rock band or like a progressive rock band of modern day, and it would come across so heavy as this really cool breakdown near the end of the music and at the end of the track. I just think that the way they carry themselves from that point forward is brilliant. There's a nice heaviness with the horns that comes in as well, almost acting like a bass. But like I said, the track goes through many different cycles, if you will. This first almost kind of giving me a fun jazzy kind of sound. Very light fun jazz. It almost sounds like a big band in the jazz style, but kind of deconstructed and broken down into its finest parts. Excuse me. And then put back together piece by piece, but completely rearranged. This is Frankenstein's monster. And listen to them with the horns. It sounds like a foghorn. Oh, I love that, man. And this... I don't even know how to describe it. It doesn't sound human. Obviously it is, but it doesn't sound human. The sounds, the way that it's being played, it just sounds so unique. I think is a great word. It really does sound unique, and I think it sounds so cool. I think it's wonderful how the musicians come together and play this. I think it's incredibly challenging for a listen, sure, but also for them to actually play. And I like how in this section here, to me, this is the rest of the song. Drums are taken away. Now we're just kind of focused on the melodies, still as complex as they may be, stitched together as they are. But there's something honestly kind of beachy about this. I feel like, this is the closest the track gets to relaxing on the beach with a drink of your choice and just kind of sitting there and watching the waves go in and out. Even the guitar kind of has that kind of nice laid back tone to the chords. Right? I think that's really interesting how that all comes together. Let's see if we can find some info on this besides what we've, of course, read briefly here. Let's see. Steve Martland, Bang on a Can All-Stars, Horses of Instruction. We're not going to watch the video because copyrights. But, which by the way, I have like 7 more days of my copyright strike. Like the way that they play that, it's just incredible. And I mean, of course, they are all glued to their sheet music. Let's get to that heavy part though, huh? Let's see if that's still around 12 minutes or so in here. Let me skip. Oh man, look at them going. Look at them. See what I mean? That is just a jam, and that is just such a breakdown of a section there that I think is really, really cool. That's really, really nice. I think that is absolutely incredible. I'm just looking at some of the comments here now. At one point, Steve was the only contemporary classical artist on Factory Records. Brilliant stuff. Sounds to me like he was inspired by hard traffic and to an interesting day of work. I can hear that. The constant beeps and horns and such. I can hear that. Makes me want to compose music. Composed in 1994. That is really, really nice. That's really cool. This is a really fantastic piece of music. Now, I'll admit, it's not everyday listening. Absolutely not. But I think for me personally, I can only speak for myself. This is the definition of a track that it may not be everyday listening. It may not be once a year listening. But it's one of those things that when you return to it, I think that like I'll find it rewarding. I'll find it really interesting. And it wasn't like incredibly abrasive. It is very challenging to listen to, no doubt about that. But I think that for myself, after I stopped trying to count along with the music, which was just near impossible, like just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it. I won't lie as well. Maybe about halfway or so into the track, I did get a little tired, almost a literal exhaustion from the track. As in the first half, I was really just finding the whole thing interesting, but by maybe the halfway point, I got a little wary. I won't lie to you, but man, did that ending absolutely bring it back in a big way. I would love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Alan, thank you so much again for the support and for the exposure to incredibly unique music like this, because I think that whether you come away liking it or not liking it, loving it, hating it, perhaps even somewhere in the middle, I think at least part of you is intrigued and curious, and it's good to be exposed to things that make you curious and intrigued, because without that, there's no growth. You know, got to experiment, got to push boundaries, and they have been appropriately pushed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye.